What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Life Without Limits Institute Masterclass. My name is Jay Baker. Many times when we're trying to approach our goals, our challenges, we just face roadblocks. We face walls, brick walls, and we wonder why we aren't seeing growth, why we aren't seeing progress. More than likely, it's because we're not in a position, or we haven't positioned ourselves to change our way of thinking. There are three missing links that I realize are keeping us from meeting our goals, from seeing success, and just from seeing progress. Just to give you a bit of a backstory, maybe 2-3 years ago, I was probably 70 pounds heavier. I knew I wasn't feeling my best. I was aching all the time. I was more irritable. I was going through different types of struggles and emotional things, and I really couldn't understand why. But I did know that my health, my physical health, had a lot to do with it. I found out that what I was living at the time just did not reflect who I was. I knew, I got a reminder of who I was. I went to visit a friend. He showed me some old pictures from like high school and those years, and I was like, man, I thought I still looked that way until I went to the restroom and I looked in the bathroom mirror and I was like, man, this isn't me. So when I realized that, I was like, man, I gotta do something. At that moment, I changed my mind. I renewed my mind. If you're not open to a new approach, a new way, there's nothing changing in your thinking. You have to be open to something different if you're going to get different results. Missing link number one is self-discipline. All right? If you don't have self-discipline, then you're going to have a tough time meeting your goals. Will Smith said that self-discipline is the ultimate sign of self-love. When you don't have self-discipline, you end up indulging in things that harm you rather than build you and help you. The second thing is accountability. Something as simple as having somebody or something remind you and correct you is very, very, very important. The problem with self-discipline is the lack of accountability. The problem with accountability is the idea that we don't want to be judged. We live in a time, in a day where we're demanding not to be judged. You need to have somebody who can coach you, somebody who can encourage you, and somebody who can correct you. You don't need people who are going to tell you yes all the time. You need something different. You need somebody different. Or you need to give somebody who's in your circle permission to hold you accountable. So the last thing we need is patience. But the first thing you need is patience, right? If you have self-discipline, you will have what I call accountability factors. And if you have those accountability factors, then you will also need to have patience, because you'll need to take your time, find out your process, and walk and stay in your lane. If you're trying to do what someone else is doing, that may not be your lane, and you need to be patient about how that unfolds. So what is patience? Patience is basically knowing in the core of you that you will get what you've been waiting on. Patience really has nothing to do with time. It has everything to do with your attitude, right? It will adjust your attitude to be and remain positive.